let's move on to our second round pick and talk about Grant Delpit, or how I called him last episode, something like that with a G.
Hilarious. Yeah.
But I did mention that he was someone I liked coming into the second round, and someone that was likely to fall to us. And guess that's.
You nailed that.
Nailed that, but that's about all I nailed when it came to our mock draft. But that's fine. You win some, you lose some. But I like Grant Delpit a lot. He fell down on some boards, mostly because he missed some tackles late in his collegiate career. But I think he makes up for that in his ability as a coverage safety and the length and ability he has in the sight to kind of jump into those pass lanes. I think that's exactly what we need in a coverage safety. I think somebody that will develop. He'll learn to tackle once you're in the league and this is your job now. That kind of changes a little bit. We saw the same thing with Greedy. Greedy had big question marks around his tackling, and we almost saw right away that he was tackling, and he was tackling hard, because now he's getting paid to do this. So that's the big difference. I think he also has the reach to take on the bigger wide receivers, the tight ends. So it'll be good. That's something we'll need losing Joe Schobert.
Yeah, I like Grant Delpit a lot, and I really, little caveat on Greedy Williams. Everyone, at least on Twitter, has been acting like he still can't tackle, which was strange to me because, as you just noted, awkward. In watching the games last year, Greedy Williams was physical. He was making some plays in the running game, and he proved. I thought that he was more than willing to tackle. And yeah, he had some whiffs or whatever, but what cornerback
he was
doesn't?
A rookie.
Yeah, what rookie cornerback, and cornerbacks in general don't have some whiffs on NFL running backs. I mean, that shit happens. But I thought he proved himself, and I think we'll see something similar with Grant Delpit. I think there's two factors why he wasn't necessarily the best tackler last year. He played almost all season with a high ankle sprain, so that's going to make life difficult for you. And going into the season, he was a projected top 10 draft pick by a lot of people. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of, because the season he had previously, he had 5 interceptions and 5 sacks in the same season.
So 7 pass breakups.
So going into this season, he was already pretty much penciled in as a top 10 pick. He's dealing with the high ankle sprain, and it's kind of like you were just saying. I mean, how badly do you really want to lay someone out when you know you're a top 10 pick, you already have an injury? And I know you guys can say, well, pride football, I don't want those kind of players. But let's get real here. Mm-hmm. Talking about millions of dollars on the line. I think anyone's going to do something a little differently.
And I think like players have that mindset has shifted.
Yeah, I mean, be real here. So the thing I like about him too, I know we have a lot of LSU players now, obviously, but it's nice. He's coming off a national championship victory, and he's coming from a team that plays at a high level every year in front of 100,000 people. I mean, it's just nice to have people that come from championship pedigree schools, because that's
why we're happy about finally having Ohio State players, Alabama players, like all these players that are coming in from these big collegiates.
Yeah, and these are also, the 5-star recruits out of high school. These are the guys that at the top of the natural gift athletic food chain. So I'm excited to have him. I think he's going to excel. He's obviously, we talked about his tackling and stuff, but where he really excels is in pass coverage. He's going to be our free safety. So basically the role that Demarius Randall played, he'll be taking over for, and I think he's going to be able to do it at a really high level. He's super fast. He's big, 6'2", 213. He's instinctual. I think with the right coaching, he could be a big deal and be a day one starter.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think he's good. He definitely has the potential to be a day one starter. We obviously have those. And the great thing too is, like, where he lacks, we kind of signed veteran leadership to fill those gaps. So it'll be nice because Andrew Sendejo and Carl Joseph they're great against the run. They're great at making those line of scrimmage tackles, kind of playing those like hybrid strong safety, coverage safety roles. So that'll be good.
I do want to point out too that we actually traded down a few spots in the second round before taking him, and we gained a 5th round pick in this year's draft in doing so, and we'll talk about what we ended up doing with that. So, I mean, overall, a great move, and it looks like the strategy that the Browns were employing was best player available based on need, and if it was a reach to take that player, then they would just trade down and take that player. So I think how they set up their board and how they executed the draft, I thought was pretty brilliant. I think they knew that they wanted to take Grant Delpit, and they also knew that they could move back a few spots and still be able to take him.
I'm going to give Grant Delpit my individual grade A+.
Yeah, same. Fuck it, A+.
Mostly because I called it. So
you did call it. You did. Even though you couldn't say his name, you did. You did call.
I can never say any names, as we all know.
True.
So if you're just brand new to listening or watching, I never get names right ever, pronunciation or just like, or even close to what they actually are. His name's Grant. I went Gat.
He's got a weird
name.
A
weird name.
Like Grant. Yeah. Super weird name.
You guys are used to this by now. So
I hope so.